Go.
This is a bob home for in the shop. What we're going to look at today is an alternative to joinery system that was developed by the CMT Corporation. It's called their N-lock jig, and the idea is to route a couple of dovetail joints in your stock, and using these two-piece keys, as the method of joinery. It's kind of similar to maybe using biscuits or pocket screws or dowels. It just gives you another method of joinery that's an option. You can see here, this was like a 45-degree miter joint we have in this one. This other one is a T-joint, which say would be in a face frame. Got two connectors in there. The third method would be like a board layup. We cut your little router slats out and then install your keys in there. Right now I'm going to demonstrate the 45-degree miter. Set this down here. So I got a couple of pieces here. I mean, normally I'd have 4 pieces, but let me demonstrate with a 2. Now the jig itself, it's what's kind of like a modified dovetail jig, which has only one slat, so I'm going to be cutting one slat at a time on that. I've already have my this is my 45-degree miter attachment on the face of it. Rides up and down and adjusts your piece of wood here. What I'm going to do is mark a couple of pieces here where I'm going to put my 2 slats, my dovetail slats. And I'm going to set it up here for one. I'm going to have to make just 2 adjustments total. I'm going to set that up, lock this in place. Let me get this one out here. I have a cam lock rail that holds your stock in place underneath the top plate here. I'm going to bring my 45-degree jig up tight against the side of my stock and lock it in place. Take my router. This is a CMT router bit that has a guide bushing on it. There's actually 2 sizes. This particular size is for a stock that's 5/8 to 7/8 thick, which uses the N-lock number 10 key set. They also make a larger size that's for 7/8 to 1 3/4 inch. I already pre-adjusted my height, which was in this case was 21/32 height. You may have to play a little bit with get it exactly right, but it's you can get it pretty close the first time. Let me take this out and set up in the other half. Got a slot on my other side. I set up my second piece. I don't have to make any adjustments yet. I can do this with all 4 if I wanted to zoom in a frame. I can take a quick peek underneath here and make sure I got the stock flush underneath the base. One other adjustment here to my second slat. I'm going to lower down my jig. Bring this inside. top plate has an alignment mark in it. I'm going to line it up with the mark in my stock here. Set that up tight, lock it in place. Bring my fixture up, lock that down, so cut it. Connect my joint. I'm just set these on the bench here. You see that they should line up perfectly, the two dovetail slots. And I'm going to set base keys in here. Oh, I forgot. I like to handle the glue to the joint. It always gives you a little extra strength. I'm not going to put any glue in the keys, but just on the face of my joint here. Set two base keys in here. I'm going to put two caps on. CMT recommends using a wood mallet, but since I don't have one, I'm going to use a piece of maple here, and with my heavy-duty hammer. Just make sure I got this lined up. Make sure it's level. That one in. The second one. And line that up. Okay. Make that in a little deeper. My nice tight 45-degree miter joint. Now, one of the nice advantages with this system is you don't need any clamping. As you hammer the cap in place, it expands the joint, pulling the stock together. So, ultimately, with a little glue, it gives you a nice, really nice tight joint there. Now, setting this up for like a face frame joint, I would remove my miter attachment here, and the jig comes with a couple adjustable stops here underneath. So if they recommend, CMT recommends like 5/8 from each end, so I would only set, let's say, set one stop along the scale here to 5/8 inch. Lock it in place, and just lock it in there. Now for the cross section, since I'm going to be cutting that on this part of it, I'm not going to mount it vertical, I'm going to have to mount it horizontal. So what I'm going to do is set this side a little bit here. I'm going to insert this extra little attachment here to hold the horizontal pieces in. Let me remove this other slot since I don't need it. Bring that back in. And I'm going to keep the same adjustment I had already, which is 5/8 from the end there. Just make sure that's flush up against. Lock it in place.